Franklin Hodge, Chief of Streets for the city, and I'll just kind of open us up by sort of reflecting on this time of the year. So for me in my personal life, right, this always like mid-August is when it always starts to feel a little bit bittersweet because you get that moment where you're like, ooh, summer. There's only so many weekends left, and then it's back to shorter days and colder days and school and all of the stuff that comes with the fall, but. At a professional level, summer is actually like a busy period for us because summer is when we have the opportunity to do the bulk of our construction for the year. It's when we can repave streets. It's when we can build new infrastructure. It's when we can refresh markings and do all of the things that we need to do to make sure that the streets are functioning the way that they need to. And this year, Mayor Wu asked us to really put some extra focus on our schools, recognizing that summer is an opportunity for us to get ready for the next school year, to make sure that our streets are set up to be safe and convenient for kids and families that are getting to school, getting to sports, getting to other after-school activities. And so this year we've launched a new program to really emphasize preparing our streets for the school year and making sure that they are where they need to be so that our kids stay safe throughout the school year. So we're going to hear more about this program. We've got Mayor Wu, Superintendent Skipper, Deputy Chief of Streets Nick Gove will all be speaking, and we're joined by a number of members of the Boston Transportation team who are responsible for getting this work done, as well as our Safe Routes to Schools team. We have crossing guards who help make sure that students get where they need to go safely. So we've got a real sort of team effort across the city to keep our students safe during the school year. And without any further ado, I will hand it over to Mayor Wu to talk about what we're doing right now. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all. I'm really excited to be here. We have already started to get the back to school readiness vibes in my household, kids bouncing off the walls. And my goal this year is not to be at Staples the day before school starts, again, like last year, rushing around trying to find the right color folders. It's our goal at the city to be the best place in the country for families of every type, of every generation, and the work is made a lot easier and more natural because so many of our top leaders are BPS parents like me as well. Chief Franklin Hodge and so many are living the daily realities. And so our goal has been to ensure that all the work that we do doesn't exist separate from each other in different departments, but is all really connected and focused on how we support families throughout the city. And this time of year and throughout the summer, as you heard, it's been really exciting to work with our departments and ensure that everybody is just trying to get every bit of extra preparation ready and direct and focus our energies to making sure we have the smoothest and best possible start of school this year. And we'll hear about that in a number of different ways today. So I want to start by thanking everyone who works all the year round to make sure our streets are clean and safe and ready for all of our families. Earlier this summer, we had announced our Safety Surge initiative, and with the Boston Transportation Department and many, many partners, police and schools and everyone, this approach has been designed to prevent speeding, reduce crashes, and make our streets accessible to all. We want our young people, seniors, residents with disabilities, everyone to be safe. Whether you're on 4 wheels, 2 wheels, going for a run, or walking around the block, we all deserve streets that are safe and that we feel safe on. That's especially true for the thousands of young people who rely on our streets to get to and from school each day, and starting soon. So with the first day of class right around the corner, we are here at the Trotter Elementary School to celebrate all the work that our transportation department has put into ensuring that the school year gets off to a smooth and safe start. I also want to take a moment to shout out Miss Sabrina Gilliard, who is the incredible crossing guard here, and someone who makes sure, as with everyone on our crossing guard team, that not only are our young people and their families safe when they are arriving and getting home, but that they're welcomed and really feel loved. And just even chatting with her for a little bit, knowing the extent to which she knows every family and staying later to wait because she knows that that one young person hasn't arrived yet because the MBTA bus is late. It's incredible commitment and devotion, and we're so grateful for all that you do. Our teams across the board have been working together to really prioritize and focus areas so that schools can be ready. We are in the process of restriping all the crosswalks near BPS schools and making sure that all pavement markings and safety signage is in place in good condition and clearly visible. As of today, nearly half of our 119 school zones have been updated, and all of them will be done before school starts in a few weeks. So right after we finish at the podium here, we'll get to see firsthand together how the restriping process works for our crosswalks and the intensive process that and hard work that is required to make each of them look as nice and visible as they are. I also want to mention the work that the Boston Public Schools have been doing on buses and transportation for students who take our yellow buses. This fall, over 600 buses will hit the road every morning to bring more than 20,000 students to schools across our city on these buses. 20 of those buses will be the electric ones that we rolled out earlier this year after the February break last school year. And we've already placed an order to almost double that amount and are applying for an EPA grant to purchase another 50 to continue to reduce pollution in our neighborhoods and protect our students and drivers from the harmful pollution that comes from diesel buses. We are also really excited that for the first time since pre-pandemic, we have a fully staffed team of more than 700 active BPS bus drivers. This will be a huge, huge difference in the reliability and the staffing and how we're able to plan for the start of school. We also have an additional 35 drivers in training who are in the process of getting their commercial driver's licenses through a new and innovative pipeline program that was set up so that we could help boost these numbers and ensure that our community residents are paid during that training process to get their driver's licenses and make it even easier to step into these roles. This year, this start of school, we will also have 100 more bus monitors in place and ready to go than we did for the start of last school year. And we always want to make sure that we are doing more to boost those numbers and have a good cushion and make sure that people have that reserve. So if they need a time to go to the doctor or spend time with family, that there's that bench ready to go. So we are still looking to hire even more bus monitors. If you are interested, if you know someone in your community who might be interested, please fill out an application at bostonpublicschools.org/jobs. And for BPS families, if you have students taking the bus, you should receive your assignment by mail and email sometime next week. If you have any questions about this assignment, please call the BPS Transportation Hotline. Over the past several years, our students and educators have just shown so much resilience, adapting to the challenges of the pandemic and often making do with limited resources in a really unexpected and disruptive time. It has been more than 3 years since in-person learning was first disrupted by COVID-19. Today, every parent should be able to go to work in the morning knowing that their student will get to and from school safely and on time. And for our students, that journey should never feel uncertain or certainly unsafe. Our students and families deserve that, and we've been putting a lot of energy, as you can see, across many, many departments to make sure that we can do even better this year. And so thank you again to our transportation department, our crossing guards, bus drivers, monitors, and everyone at the Boston Public Schools. Okay, before I pass it over to the superintendent, otra vez en español. Buenos días. Al inicio del verano anunciamos nuestra iniciativa sobre el Safety Surge, una iniciativa con un enfoque nuevo diseñada para prevenir el exceso de velocidad, reducir los choques y hacer que nuestras calles sean más seguras para todos. Todos merecemos sentirnos seguros en nuestras calles. Esto es especialmente cierto para los miles de jóvenes que dependen de nuestras calles para ir y volver de colegio todos los días. Así que con el primer día de clases a la vuelta de la esquina, nos encontramos aquí en el Trotter Elementary para celebrar todo el trabajo que nuestro Departamento de Transporte ha realizado para garantizar un comienzo del año escolar seguro. Actualmente, nuestros equipos están volviendo a pintar todos los pasos peatonales cercanos a las escuelas de BPS. Antes de que suene la primera campana, todos los pasos peatonales estarán listos. También me gustaría dar una breve actualización sobre nuestros autobuses escolares. Este otoño, más de 600 autobuses saldrán a la calle cada mañana para llevar a más de 20,000 estudiantes a todas las escuelas de nuestra ciudad. De estos, 20 son autobuses eléctricos que pusimos en marcha a principios de año. Ya pedimos 18 más y estamos aplicando a una subvención de EPA para comprar otros 50. También nos sentimos muy orgullosos de informar que por primera vez desde el 2019 tenemos un equipo completo de más de 700 conductores de autobuses de BPS. 35 también conductores en formación y también nos enorgullece informar que tenemos más de 100 monitores de autobús más que el año pasado. Si le interesa ser monitor de autobús para nosotros, por favor complete la aplicación en bostonpublicschools.org/jobs. Para las familias de nuestras escuelas públicas, si tienen estudiantes que toman el autobús, recibirán su asignación tanto por correo como por correo electrónico la próxima semana. Si tiene alguna pregunta sobre la asignación de su estudiante, por favor llame a la línea directa de transporte de BPS. Todos los padres y madres de familia deberían de poder ir en la mañana a trabajar con la certeza de que su estudiante va y vuelve de la escuela seguro y llega puntual. Y para nuestros estudiantes, ese trayecto nunca debería de ser inseguro o impredecible. Nuestros estudiantes y familias se merecen esa seguridad y estoy muy agradecida con nuestro Departamento de Transporte, de las escuelas, nuestros guardias de cruce y nuestros conductores de autobús y los monitores por brindarla. Gracias a todos. Okay, thank you so much. And I'm excited to hand it over to our Superintendent of Schools, Mary Skipper.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Just incredibly excited for the new school year. Right now we have about 550 of our leaders and our teachers and our school staff who are working together in our All Leaders Institute to prepare for the year and to make sure that their teams are ready. Clearly for us, school safety and getting to and from school safe is a priority for us, and this is a case where it truly takes a village to make this work. And so really a deep thanks to our mayor and to Chief Franklin Hodge for their partnership and their work on this. You know, for us, the Safe Routes to School has been such a critical initiative. It really ensures that our young people, you know, are able to walk, they're able to take transit, they're able to ride their bikes to and from school. And in doing that, they're getting healthy exercise, which we know is so critical for their development. But it also allows them to build community with parents that are walking, build community with each other as they walk or as they take their bikes. And so the work that's been done over this summer, particularly with our crosswalks in the areas around the school and the markings, this is what's going to be critical to enable our young people to get out and about and feel safe doing so. So just a deep thanks to all of the partners, our transportation department, certainly our crossing guards who are never celebrated enough, but we celebrate them. To the Boston Police, who are partners in this, of making sure that the to and the from for school is safe. These are all of us working in concert, and we're blessed to be in a city that recognizes that and makes sure that it happens. So thank you. Looking forward to a great school year, and I'm sure there'll be questions afterwards. And now it's my introduction for Deputy Chief Gove, who is the Deputy Chief of Streets for Transportation.
Thank you, Superintendent. Morning, everyone. Again, my name's Nick Gove. I'm Deputy Chief of Streets for Transportation. With the first day of school right around the corner, the Boston Transportation Department has been at work ensuring families and students can feel more confident whether they walk, bike, take the bus, or the T to the first day of school this year. At BTD, we're committed to creating safe routes to schools for all students and providing drivers with the tools they need to recognize a school zone and be aware to slow down for children. Clear pavement markings and signage help keep everyone safe. As the mayor shared, as of today, more than half of the 119 BPS school zones have been updated with clear, safe crossings and signage. This summer, the BTD team and our contracted partners have been out 4 nights a week putting down over 100,000 feet of crosswalks in BPS school zones. I want to thank the entire BTD team for the work you do every day. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. I particularly want to thank Rich Shamshak for his leadership on this project and his 25 years of service to the city of Boston. Lastly, I want to thank the mayor, the superintendent, and the chief of streets for their leadership on projects like this. Periodic maintenance programs like this is how we maintain city assets and deliver critical municipal services. Throughout the year, we ask residents to help us. If you see a sign or pavement markings that need to be refreshed, please use the 311 app to report those type of issues. Thank you. Chief?
Thank you, Nick, and thank you for your leadership in helping to make this program a reality. I think we have time for questions, and then, as the mayor mentioned, we're going to go down the street to do a demonstration of how crosswalks get refreshed. We'll give everybody time to get their equipment down there after questions, but yeah.
Urge parents to get their kids vaccinated before the school year. Do you also want to urge parents to do the same? Do you think that's important that kids are doing that before the school year starts?
You mean COVID vaccination?
Yes,
Yeah.
and flu, and to get up to date on other vaccines.
Yeah, well, we do require a certain set of vaccinations, and with the newer ones, with COVID and flu, it's just a good precaution. I think we have, thank goodness, seen many advances in the treatment of COVID and are feeling much more comfortable in general in our society with our ability to manage COVID and live with it. But it is certainly very much still here. We even saw a little bit of a jump in recent weeks here in Boston. And so we do encourage everyone to just keep this in mind. And whenever the kids are all back together, that is when things can start to get passed around. And we certainly feel that in my household too. So just want to encourage everyone to be aware of that and take those steps if they're able to.
I asked one off topic. There's been another situation with some teenagers arrested for attacking someone at Downtown Crossing. What do you think about that area, and what can we do to make that area, the city, safer, especially it's a very big tourist area?
Yeah, I know. We see some of the incidents here are in the Downtown Crossing area getting attention, and as incidents everywhere should. But I know our police department, our schools department, and everyone are always working to ensure that we know the exact names and family situations of all of the young people who might ever come across our radar. There's a good infrastructure and system in place where many agencies come together to have a plan and to do the outreach. We also have been working very closely. I know BPD, and I don't know if Superintendent Cullinane wants to add anything, has been taking specific strategies, working in conjunction with, for example, some of the stores in the Downtown Crossing area or other areas, just so that they have a sense of what to do, who to call, and we can be as responsive as possible. The bigger picture is that we want to make sure that all of our young people have as much opportunity and fun and healthy, safe activity to do as possible. This summer, we doubled the number of youth summer jobs that the city created and were able to offer as paid positions for our young people. So nearly 8,000 young people took part in that, which was the highest number we've seen. We're aiming for closer to 10,000 next year, and we want to keep growing that. Some of our community centers had later hours on the weekends, and so we also gave out grants for block parties. The goal is that everyone should have something that they're excited to do and able to experience the growth and learning continuously throughout the summer, and so that's something we'll continue to work on together. Superintendent, do you want to add anything on that?
Good morning. I'm Lenita Cullinane, Superintendent, Chief of the Bureau of Field Services, and we've been actively working with various partner agencies as well as organizations that provide services and resources to youth and other individuals that we've been finding that have been involved in these type of situations and incidents. We're also working with private organizations and some of the businesses that are impacted. So we're actively working to divert many of these individuals that are involved towards resources. So we're dealing with the issue. We know that it is an issue, but we're also trying to make sure that we find the appropriate resources to address many of these issues.
To you and the mayor. Hello, my name is Mark Sutherland. I'm with Garrison Charter Neighborhood Association. I'm the chairperson for safety in the neighborhood. And as you see, we sit across from 2 elderly buildings. And also we have this school over on Townsend. We have BLA and we have Bridge Boston. What we're asking for is a little bit more safety in this neighborhood. And what we need is a campus. And what I'm saying by that is that we have 2 more schools over on Walnut. And we're asking for you to flank these schools to make it a safe zone as you're asking for. Slow the traffic down. People speed through here all the time. And the only reason to slow them down is to have a raised crosswalk. We have one on Cedar Street in front of the Nathan Hale School. When I spoke with Mr. I forget his name off the top of my head, Mr. Josh, when I spoke with him earlier, it was about also making sure that people understand that when you come to our neighborhood, the traffic is speeding. And we can't get them to slow down with just the raised crosswalks. We need police enforcement. And we don't have that. We had a walk back in April with certain people from the city, and they were speeding up and down the street when school was open. Here it is now, August. School is about to open in a couple of weeks. I understand the crosswalks were done. Thank you very much. We need more. This is a campus. We have 5 major schools in this area, and we have the traffic flying through here on a regular basis. We really need you guys to step up. I'm not saying that you haven't, but we need to elevate it even more so that we make this whole area a safe zone, a campus. If you go down towards Northeastern or either towards Wentworth, they have all kinds of things to slow people down. I need that in this area also. Please and thank you.
Well, thank you, first of all, Mr. Schultz. The Garrison Trotter Neighborhood Association is really a model and has been for a very long time of understanding and taking leadership on how all the issues fit together. This is the approach that we're trying to take also, because I think the city in the past has really been kind of every building on its own, every street on its own, and then sometimes that just pushes things like traffic over to the next area. So we do want to take more of a zone-by-zone approach, and this is a really helpful flag for us that we should think about all of these schools and resources together as one campus and zone. Why don't we follow up, and we'll make sure whatever resources we can, we'll work with you all. Okay, thank you.
Last question, so we can shift. So in past years, it has been an issue with buses arriving at a time to teach or at all to take children to campus. I don't know if this is kind of, but do you anticipate that might be an issue this year? And when it comes to bus monitors, how many constitute being fully staffed to what number right now?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So first, we're very excited to be fully staffed on the bus driver side and to have additional bus drivers in training. That helps to ensure that every bus we have gets out onto the road, and that ensures that there's a better on-time performance. I think we've worked hard over the last several years to address much of the on-time performance issues that we saw, including some of our GPS data. So we're feeling really good about that. That said, in the first week of school, there's adjustments that happen with routes. As bus drivers learn the routes, they're new to them. As students and parents learn the bus, situation and system. So it's really that first week is a little bit of settling. But last year, to not be fully staffed was a deficit. The orange line was obviously a critical issue. For us this year, there's many more favorable flags going into this that help us to feel confident. The bus monitor situation, not only have we increased the number of bus monitors, 150 over what we were last year, we are still hiring, as the mayor indicated, and we will continue to do so. However, we have also changed so that we, on every single bus that has a student with disabilities, there will be a monitor. So we've made some changes to policy that will also, I think, enable us to make sure that all students are getting back and forth in a more seamless fashion.
For you, is there still a need to get students caught up from the pandemic, and if so, what are the schools doing?
So I think there's clearly a need. I mean, we see this in national data, we see this in local data, and this is going to be many years that it's going to take us to help students get back to where they were. I think our goal in the BPS is to not just get them back to where they were, because for our Black and brown students, special ed, and multilingual learners, it was an unacceptable level to start. I think our goal is to actually close those gaps. So with that, we're doing a great deal around tier one strong academics, which is what the 550 people that I referenced are working toward. We're moving toward an inclusive education environment, which is going to benefit all students. These are the ways you can't really intervene your way out of what happened with the pandemic. You have to ensure that in every classroom, in every school, every day, students are getting that high quality access to instruction, but also high quality rigor within the materials. So this is the way that we're approaching. In addition, we've hired additional reading coaches. We're in our English language learner piece, we're hiring far more ESL teachers this year. So I think across the board, our staffing, 97% of our classrooms, classroom teachers are staffed already. We're ahead of where we were last year considerably, and we will keep pushing that mark. It will take us several years to really start to get students back. I can't emphasize enough the out-of-school time. This is not something you're going to do in the school day. This is where out-of-school time, the work we did over the summer through the mayor's support, really beefing up the youth development opportunities in the out-of-school time, in the evenings, on the weekends, in the summer. That's the way that we're going to start to bring closure, but also, I think, for us, close that gap that's been persistent throughout our history.
Great, thank you all. Let's shift down to the crosswalk demonstration.
Down this way. Thanks.
Are we painting?
I think we're okay. The weather is, I think, but I think we have some. Yeah, you're going to do the part that gets. Thank you, guys.